All right, STAX users, Investor Central Club, YouTube, welcome to our monthly backtest of our STAX software. As you can see here, what we've got is today as of September 3rd, 2024. Just going to give you guys a quick peek over at our STAX software and all the prints for STAX AI that have come in. We've got just a few for last month of August and a few updates for last month as well. Just so you guys can see our numbers over here, we've got quite an awesome hit rate, 90%, with about the highs averaging 157. One note I do want to give you guys for this month is that I did go back through our version 1 and version 2, and I compiled all of them together into a single spreadsheet, took out the redundancies, so the numbers are a little bit altered from before. You might notice from last time or last backtest we had a total of 198 total prints, so we had a few that merged together. But just to be as accurate as we can with our two versions of STAX now being combined into a single one over here. Let's quickly go over what updates we do have for our spreadsheet over here. What I've also started to do is I put together a little bit of a spark line on the left. That makes it a little bit easier for me to go back and test and review if our numbers or if our stock has gone up a little bit further. Keep in mind these are for the ticker itself, not for the options. Options do move a little bit differently, so that is something that we do have to keep in mind. We didn't have quite as many higher highs for some of our tickers, so you'll notice the ones that are put into our blue over here are the ones that were updated for just this last month. We have AXP over here heading even further up, AXP again, NEM, AXP, TIVA, NEM, and that's actually just about it for the updates from last backtest till now. For our update, I'm going to go over last month. We did have this CARR come in today. I will not be reviewing that just yet since it really hasn't moved much since. We had 6 total prints for our last month of August. 4 of those so far are winners, but I do like to remind you guys, if you go back to our previous backtests from back in December, back in January and February, you'll notice that what we've tend to have is that the numbers for that month tend to be a bit lower. So right now we're just averaging 66% hit rate at about a 18% return for this past month. But keep in mind, as time goes on, these tend to go up higher. We don't have too much to go over today, just because what I did notice was that back in the month of July, a lot of our big hitters in terms of Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, AMDs, a lot of these actually happened to hit their highs around the 7th to the 9th of July. The ones that did get updated, NEM, AXP, TIVA, these ones tend to have some more recent highs. And so you might notice we aren't getting as many of those purchases right now in this next month. I know that there's a lot of talk about interest rates being cut, a lot of question marks around what the Fed is going to be doing in terms of a 25 or 50 point basis cut. So I feel that the markets are awaiting to see what happens there before further action is taken. But what you will notice are that our STAX AI still has gold here being purchased, gone up about 30% from there. Tesla did have a high here about 11 days after its purchase, and ANET, MU, and IWM. CEG as well. These ones have just retraced back a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on those to see what's happened. Again, if it's only been a couple days from the purchase, Sometimes it may take a little bit longer for these to reach their true highs. Quick numbers that I wanted to go over here. Just before, I know I had these two merged together because of version 1, version 2. Now we're only out of 195 total prints. We over 25%, we've got about 147 of them. Over 50%, 108. Over 100, 72. And over 200%, we've got 41. Some fun numbers over here as well. If you take a look, 23 of our prints are over 300% of their highs. 15 are over 400, 13 over 500, 9 over 6, 8 over 7, 7 over 800. And then here are two, over 900 and over 10,000, over 1,000, not 10,000, over 1,000%. We've actually got 4 prints that were picked out by STAX AI. Of our backtest, you'll notice again our numbers, because we took out some of the winners that we've had, got merged together, so I will make sure that we mention that here. We're still getting about 9 out of 10 in terms of our hit rate, with an average return over 150%. We got 157.86%. And if you go back into the other numbers here, the average number of days to the high is 64.97. Keep in mind that includes the weekends here, so you might want to understand this is close to about 2 months. Okay, we do include the weekends in this calculation just due to the natural calculations of our spreadsheets here. And as you can see, the average days to the high, as we get closer, obviously lesser in terms of the numbers, but there are ones, especially the ones that they purchase for years out, months and months out. These ones tend to take some time. I like to say you got to let them marinate a little bit for them to reach their highs. One thing I do want to point out as I'm doing this backtesting, since we did have some of our highs in July, a lot of these ones, for example, I'll do a quick one here with Amazon. With it hitting its high in July, it's actually retraced quite a bit. So we do remind you guys, be careful, manage your risk, set your stop losses. If you're green, if it's worth taking a screenshot to share, those might be an indication that it's worth taking your profits, especially when they're well in the green. You don't want something like this to start to retrace back upon you and lose out on all those beautiful, beautiful green gains. All right, well, that's all I have for you guys today with STAX AI, STAX Software, and InvestorCentralClub.com. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. You can always reach out to us at help@InvestorCentralClub.com. Let us know if you notice any mistakes, if you noticed any sort of updates that you'd like to see with our information here. With that being said, this is Eric here with Investor Central Club. Happy to do this for you guys. I will see you guys in the next one.